Let's start with some numbers. 200 lives lost, more than 700,000 people affected. And no, these aren't just statistics from some far-off place. They are a wake-up call for every single one of us. In the floods that swept across southern Africa just in early 2026, more than 200 people died. Think about that. That's the real human cost of being caught unprepared.
And beyond that, over 700,000 more were affected. Their homes, their lives, just turned completely upside down in an instant. The scale of this is it's huge.
And please, don't think of these as abstract events on the news. This was right here. This was Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Malawi, South Africa. Our communities, our roads, our neighbors. In almost every single case, a warning came. People knew the rains were heavy, they knew the rivers were rising. But knowing something is coming, that's not the same as being ready for it.
Okay, so let's get into the why, because here's the problem nobody seems to talk about. Most of the emergency advice we get, well, it just wasn't written for us. It wasn't designed for the reality of our households. Just look at the difference here. The standard advice, it kind of assumes you're one person. On your own, you've got a smartphone, and you can just grab a bag and go. But what's our reality? You're managing children. You're caring for elders who can't move so fast. You're often the only adult at home when that warning finally comes because your husband is at work. You're working with the resources you have, not some unlimited budget. And let me be clear, that is not a weakness. That is just reality.
And that's the heart of it. The preparedness system we've been given was simply not designed for our reality. So you know what? Today, we fix that. We're going to build a plan that actually works for you, using what you already have in your home. So, the most important thing to remember is this. We start with what we have. This is not about going out and buying some perfect, expensive kit from a shop. No, this is about being prepared right now, today.
You know the old proverb, right? Half a loaf is better than nothing. And that is exactly the thinking for your go-back. Starting with something is so much better than having nothing when you need it the most. And look, this really proves the point. The bag itself does not matter. Your child's old-school satchel? That'll work. A strong, reusable shopping bag, one of those Shangani bags we all have. It's perfect. An old travel bag you're not using, a simple zip bag, any of these will do the job. Because let's be honest, the bag that saves lives isn't the fanciest one. It's the one that's already packed and ready to go. All right, let's get to the practical part. Let's see how this all comes together. We're going to pack our household go bag right now, and we're only going to use things you probably already have lying around the house. First up, documents and identity. Trust me, after a disaster, proving who you are is absolutely critical. So, gather copies of your IDs, birth certificates, maybe any property deeds. You don't need a special waterproof pouch. Just find a simple plastic bag in your kitchen and seal them inside. And here's the tip. On a piece of paper, write down important phone numbers. Your phone could die, but paper always works. Okay, next is health, and this part is non-negotiable, especially if you're looking after children or elders. You want to pack at least a 7-day supply of any essential medications. On that same piece of paper, write down the dosages and your doctor's information. Then, just grab any basic first aid stuff you have. A few plasters, a little antiseptic, simple.
Now for a category that most emergency lists completely forget about, personal needs. Pack sanitary pads or whatever hygiene products you use. Even just a few is better than having none. Add a small bar of soap, a little towel, and anything specific your baby or toddler might need. Maintaining dignity is so important, especially in a crisis.
For food and water, you don't need to buy anything special. Just look in your kitchen. High-energy things like biscuits or some dried fruit are perfect. And don't worry about buying special water pouches. Just fill up a few empty plastic bottles with clean water. For tools, a simple whistle can be a lifesaver for calling for help. And if you have a torch and a power bank, make sure they're charged up and put them in the bag.
And finally, shelter and comfort. You'd be surprised how much protection a large plastic sheet or even a few strong bin bags can offer. Pack one change of clothes for everybody in the family. And please, don't forget about comfort. A small book, a religious text, or your child's favorite little toy. These things can provide so much psychological relief when things are stressful.
So, the bag is packed. That's a huge step. But now we have to talk about the plan that goes with it. Because this is not a solo mission. Not at all. This is a team effort.
And right now, I want to speak directly to the husbands, the fathers, and the brothers out there. The woman in your household who is taking the lead on this, she cannot do it alone. She is probably already managing everything else. Your job is to be her active support.
So what does that support actually look like? It's really simple. Ask her what's in the bag and where she's keeping it. Help her gather the items. Know the family meeting point that she's decided on. And this is so important. When the warning comes, follow her lead. She has been thinking about this. Trust her.
Now, to help you get started with all this, I put together a very simple checklist. You can download it. Just use the link in the description. It's completely free until August 2026, and it's a great way to take that very first crucial step.
So here it is, a quick summary of what we've built together today. A sturdy bag you already own, your document copies, sealed in plastic, a week's supply of medication, personal hygiene items, some basic food, water, and a torch. And finally, a change of clothes and a small comfort item. That's it. This is your safety net.
Look, the science is clear. The warnings will come again. The rains will get heavier, the rivers will rise again. So the only question that really matters now is this: is your family going to be ready for the next one?